Have you ever encountered someone who wants to control everything exactly the way they want? For them, the main goal is always power and control. It's as if everyone in their life is just a toy for them. But here's the interesting part. When they lose that control, their masks fall off instantly, revealing the true faces they've been hiding. Seeing how narcissists behave in those moments is both shocking and thought-provoking. Recognizing these behaviors protects us from their games and helps us maintain our inner calm. The Stoics had a wise saying, "Don't worry about what is not in your control. Learn to govern yourself." In this video, we will explore together what are the 9 things narcissists do when they lose control. If you want to know these truths and protect your own power, it's worth watching until the end. For more useful content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends, because what you're about to hear in the next few minutes will teach you a lot. There is one rule for narcissists: they are never wrong, at least not in their own eyes. Even when all the evidence is right in front of them, they won't admit their mistakes, because admitting a mistake means taking responsibility and appearing weak. And weakness is unacceptable to a narcissist. That's why the first thing they do when they lose control is look for someone to blame. If something goes wrong at work, it's the manager's fault. The team is weak or the conditions are bad. If there's a problem in a relationship, the partner is too demanding, too sensitive, or doesn't understand them. In other words, everything is someone else's fault, but never theirs. At the core of this behavior is fear. Saying "I was wrong" would destroy the strong image they've built. So they twist the situation so that you carry the blame. If you get angry and go on the defensive, you've fallen into their trap. Your confused reaction gives them a chance to regain control. For example, imagine you planned something with a friend and they are late. A normal person would apologize and take responsibility, but a narcissist, they'll say things like, "The roads were blocked. You didn't tell me on time. You said it differently, so I misunderstood." In the end, they even shift the blame for their own lateness onto you. The Stoics remind us of a simple truth in these situations. Don't tire yourself over what you cannot control. Joining the narcissist's game only means losing your energy and calm. The strongest response is to stay calm, because that's exactly what they are waiting for, a reaction. Without it, all their games fail. So remember, a narcissist who loses control will first seek someone to blame, and most often, they will try to make it you. If you remain calm and composed, you protect your values and foil their plan. In short, narcissists are never wrong. They are always looking for someone else to blame. This is their first defining trait. For narcissists, control is everything. If they can't get what they want, they don't quietly accept it and say, "Well, I guess it's meant to be." Instead, they immediately resort to various games. These games are called manipulation, their second defining trait. Manipulation, simply put, is using hidden tactics to make you behave according to their desires. Narcissists are very skilled at this, and their most common weapon is emotional blackmail. For example, if you disagree with them, they might suddenly say, "If you do this, you'll lose me. You never think about me. Without you, I'm nothing." Do you see? The goal here is to make you feel guilty. The more guilty you feel, the more likely you are to do what they want. This is a very dangerous psychological game. Sometimes, narcissists don't manipulate you directly. They manipulate those around you. For example, they might lie to your friends or family about you. They create an image where it seems like you are the one being unfair to them, that you are the bad side, while they appear poor and wronged. In this way, they not only make themselves look justified, but also try to isolate you. The most interesting part is that this manipulation is often invisible. It's not an open attack, but a hidden game. People often don't even notice it. They just feel guilty or indebted. And that's exactly the result the narcissist wants. The Stoic approach says, if someone can control you, it means you have not controlled yourself. In other words, The strongest weapon against manipulation is mastering your own emotions. If you know yourself well enough to distinguish when you are guilty and when you are not, you won't fall into their game. Remember, when narcissists lose control, they will inevitably attempt manipulation. But once you see through their game, the power shifts from them to you. For narcissists, the greatest nightmare is losing control. When things don't go their way, it's as if a hidden storm inside them explodes. They cannot contain their anger. Sometimes they yell, sometimes they insult, and sometimes they choose complete silence to hurt you. These are their third signs. These outbursts of anger are not random. They are a display of power. When they shout, belittle you, or remain cold and silent like a wall, the goal is always the same: to regain superiority. They believe that your fear, anxiety, or guilt will make them appear strong again. For example, imagine you want to discuss an issue openly. A normal person would listen and try to understand. But a narcissist suddenly explodes. How could you say that to me? Do you even know who I am? It's always your fault, yet you never admit it. Sometimes the opposite happens. Instead of shouting openly, they become completely silent and ignore you. This is another form of anger, because they know that ignoring someone and cutting off communication can hurt deeply from within. But don't forget, at the root of these anger outbursts is always fear. They fear losing control, and they use anger as a shield to hide that fear. The Stoics give us a vital lesson in such situations. Another person's anger cannot disturb your calm unless you allow it. In other words, the narcissist's anger is not inherently powerful over you. It's your reaction that gives them power. If you remain composed and maintain your calm, the real advantage is yours. So when facing yelling, insults, or silence, instead of getting angry, remember your values. Your calmness is their greatest defeat. The fourth tactic narcissists frequently use is playing the victim. Yes, to maintain control, they may yell or insult, but sometimes they do the opposite. They portray themselves as helpless, hurt, or wronged. They know that human weakness lies in compassion. Naturally, we want to help or support someone in distress. Narcissists exploit this expertly. For example, if they feel wrong in an argument, their voice may suddenly tremble. I've always been alone. No one ever understands me. You, like everyone else, don't appreciate me. These words are meant to soften you. You start feeling guilty and wonder, maybe I really was too harsh. But in reality, it's just a game. Their goal remains the same: regaining control. Sometimes this victim role is even more exaggerated. In front of others, they act as if everyone is against them. No one understands them, and everyone treats them unfairly. This way, they gain the admiration and support of those around them, while you appear to be the one at fault. This is one of the most subtle forms of manipulation. In an anger outburst, you see the other person's fury. In the victim role, they appear innocent. Yet in reality, it's just another way to control the situation. Remember, those who always play the victim are often the greatest tyrants of all. One of the most dangerous tactics of narcissists is isolating you. This is their fifth trait. They know very well that a person is easier to control when alone and unsupported. Therefore, their goal is simple: to distance you from your friends, family, and even those you consider closest to you. How do they do this? In subtle ways. For example, they might say about your friends, "Do you really think they're your friend? I think they're jealous of you. Your family doesn't understand you. They're always unfair to you. If it weren't for me, who would value you?" Do you see? Their goal is to make you doubt. If you stop trusting your friends and family, you end up alone. And when you're alone, it becomes much easier for them to make you their puppet. Sometimes they do it more openly. For example, they might get upset when you want to meet your friends, or they might deliberately create problems so you don't spend time with your social circle. In this way, they try to bind you closer to themselves. The scariest part is that gradually, a person starts to accept this as normal. You feel alone, but it seems like there is no way out. In reality, it's just a trap set by the narcissist. The Stoics' wisdom applies here as well. True power is keeping yourself free. In other words, the best response to someone trying to separate you from your friends or loved ones is to protect your boundaries. If you have valuable people in your life, don't lose them, because they are your true source of strength. Remember, if a narcissist tries to isolate you, it means you possess a power they fear. Their greatest fear is facing a free and strong person. Another powerful weapon of narcissists is creating an illusion, which is their sixth trait. They constantly try to appear stronger, more successful, and untouchable than they really are. Even minor achievements are exaggerated and presented as if they accomplished something extraordinary. For example, if they played a small role in a project, they will talk about it as if they did everything on their own. If they have a minor acquaintance, they will present it as a significant connection. I know so-and-so personally. This project couldn't have succeeded without me. Without me, no one could have succeeded. In reality, it's just an appearance. Narcissists care more about how others perceive them than the truth. They always want to look strong because if they don't, they fear being abandoned, unloved, or undervalued. Interestingly, when they lose control, they lie even more to maintain this illusion. The truth threatens their perfect image. For example, if they fail, they immediately blame someone else or make excuses like, "I didn't really want it anyway." This works like a mask. They wear it to appear untouchable, but no matter how shiny the mask is, it eventually cracks, revealing the truth underneath. The Stoics teach an important lesson here. Don't be deceived by appearances. Seek the truth. In other words, don't be fooled by someone's flashy words or exaggerated achievements. True strength lies in a calm and humble person, because real success is felt, not displayed. Remember, the illusions narcissists create may blind you, but if you remain composed and alert, you will see the truth. No image built on lies can last forever. One of the most dangerous traits of narcissists is using the past as a weapon, which is their seventh trait. They can turn anything they know about you against you, especially when they lose control. You may have trusted them with your most difficult days, your weak moments, or some of your secrets. In a normal relationship, this is trust. But for a narcissist, it's just a bullet to be used later. They will remind you of your vulnerabilities to gain the upper hand. For example, in an argument, they might suddenly say, "Do you remember? You made the same mistake back then. I saved you that day too, so you should be grateful now. If I wanted, I could tell everyone about your past." These words are not random. They want you to doubt yourself and feel weak. If you give in to feelings of guilt or fear, you have essentially handed control back to them. In reality, using the past as a weapon reveals their own weakness, because they lack the ability to stay present and manage today. That's why they dig up old wounds to try to gain power. The Stoic said, "The past is gone. The future has not yet come. Your power is only in the present." In other words, don't allow someone to use your past against you. People can learn from their past mistakes, but narcissists use it to pull you backward. If someone weaponizes your past, it means they have no power over you today. The more composed you remain, the less effective their strongest weapon becomes. The narcissist's eighth tactic is creating provocation and observing your reaction. Their goal is always to maintain control over you. Sometimes they create situations just to see how you react. For example, they may not demand anything from you, but they will try to irritate you with a small word or action. The angrier you get, the stronger and superior they feel. Every emotional response fuels their sense of power. These games can be very subtle. For example, they arrive late on purpose to see you get frustrated. They give you wrong information so you make a mistake. They exaggerate small misunderstandings to unsettle you. The truth is, their goal is simply to force you to react. They know that if you remain calm, their chance to regain control diminishes. This is their show of power. As the Stoic said, "Your anger strengthens another's plan. Composure defeats it." In other words, the best response to a provocation from a narcissist is staying calm. By mastering your emotions, you disrupt their game. Narcissists' games exist to confuse you. But as long as you remain alert and composed, their tactics cannot achieve their desired outcome. Staying calm is their greatest defeat. At the root of all narcissistic behavior is one fear: the fear of abandonment. This is their ninth trait. Even though they try to appear strong and untouchable, there is always an underlying anxiety people might leave them. This fear causes them to cling even more when they sense they are losing control. They demand more attention, love, and support from you. You might feel responsible for calming them with every small action. Sometimes this fear makes them act aggressively, manipulatively, or as a victim. It's as if the fear inside them drives and shapes their behavior. The good news is that seeing this fear gives you power. Once you understand the reason behind the narcissist's behavior, you can choose your reaction. Staying calm, protecting your boundaries, and refusing to engage in their emotional games neutralizes their power. The Stoics remind us of a simple truth: do not make someone else's fear your power. Preserving your stability is in your hands. No matter how clingy or demanding the narcissist is, if you remain composed, they actually have no control over you. Remember, a narcissist who loses control is really fighting their own fear. Seeing your calmness completely disrupts their game. Thus, recognizing narcissistic behavior is not just about changing them, but protecting your own boundaries. When they lose control, they may use outbursts, manipulation, playing the victim, or try to make you appear at fault. But it's important to remember that at the root of these behaviors are their fears and weaknesses. The Stoics wisely said, control yourself, not the universe. Even if you cannot change others' behavior, you can always control your own reactions and inner peace. Staying calm, composed, and true to your values is the strongest response you can give a narcissist. No matter how much they cling or try to manipulate, your power lies in your stability. Refusing to fall into their games, respecting your boundaries, and keeping your emotions intact is your true advantage. Thank you for watching so far. If you found this video useful, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Because this knowledge can help not only you, but also protect those around you. Remember, power is in your calmness, and now you know it.